Let's start in the West with the 1 seed, Gonzaga, 26-0 against the winner of the play-in game against Norfolk State and Appalachian State. Do we have Ben, do you have a lean on the play-in winner here?
I would assume it would be Appalachian State, but not too concerned about either of them. It's a pretty bad game.
Okay. Tim, are you going to tail Ben on that one?
Sure. I don't know anything about those two teams. All I know about Appalachian State is football. So
that time that they beat Michigan in the first game of the year?
Yes.
That's as a D2 team, that's basically the only thing that I can. That's all I know.
They have.
Yeah, that's all I know.
That's all they have. You're not missing anything. That's literally their claim to fame.
So, Tim, are you taking Appalachian State to beat Gonzaga in round 1?
I have been on Gonzaga since the start of the season. I love this team. I laid down a New Year's Day marker that they would go undefeated and win the championship. I'm staying with it. I'm sort of at sea here because I like to pick Duke and Gonzaga every year, and I don't have Duke to lean on this year. So I'm all in on Gonzaga. I mean, this team is legitimately great. I bet you your statistics you have there have them as the top team, the number 1 in RPI. I love this team. Absolutely love Gonzaga. I think they're going to crush.
Well, that is not
the case. They got a great draw. A great draw.
Well, that is not the case, but the two teams that are vying for this play-in spot are the two lowest ranked teams in the rankings coming in. Gonzaga is actually 5th in these rankings, Ben. Does that jibe with you?
I don't know. It's a really interesting situation. We always talk about when they come into this tournament, they've been beating up on lesser competition for a long time now. It does kind of feel that this team is a little unique, though, and they are that good. We're going to find out. I do tend to think that they're better than the 5th team, though. I would say that for sure.
And they beat the 2, 3, and 4 seed in this bracket already this season, which is weird.
Yeah, I mean, early in the year, they ran through I wish we got to see them in Baylor. They were supposed to play, and it got canceled several times, and that would have given us even more insight. But you know what? Maybe that gives us more value on a team because we didn't get to see that game.
All right, well, let's find out who they're going to be playing in the second round. We have the 8-9 matchup of Oklahoma and Missouri. Missouri comes in number 58 in these power rankings. This was done before the bracket was released of all of the eligible teams that could come in. And that leaves Oklahoma at, where are you at, Oklahoma? I just had a note about you. There's Oklahoma State. It's probably not what I want to be looking at. Oklahoma. There we are, 41st. 3 straight January wins over top 10 teams is nice, but losing 5 of 6 to the end of the season is not. There are defensive metrics to buy into, but the lack of offensive consistency is going to be a problem over 40 minutes. And the mustache of Brady Manick will have to produce in a major way to make this run possible. Who do you have here, Ben? Do you have Oklahoma or Missouri?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Maybe I'll start leaning on the Big 12 right off the bat. You mentioned Brady Manick. They've got experience, just a pretty solid team. They had some losses down the stretch, but they were to predominantly good teams. Missouri is interesting. They're a solid team. I don't really like the SEC in general, though. So tough game. Don't think it's ultimately going to matter as we go out. I'll lean to Oklahoma.
And Tim, I assume you're going to tail that as well?
No, I like Missouri. Oh. Missouri is the strongest 8-9 pick I have. I think they're 25 in RPI. They beat Florida, who's higher seeded than them by 2 seeds. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I actually think the Tigers are half decent, so I'm going to play them here.
All right, so let's go with the first fade cust here and have Oklahoma moving on in the 8-9 pick of the Pat Mayo Experience West Region bracket, going on to Creighton as a 5 seed against UCSB as a 12 seed. Creighton actually ranks out 7th in these rankings, Ben. Do they still have Dougie McBuckets?
They've got his father, but barely at this point, but that's neither here nor there. Creighton is whoever's doing these secret rankings for you, they jive with me. Creighton is a team that they're incredibly frustrating, but I really think they're dangerous. They're a terrible free throw shooting team, and that scares me. 329th in the country in free throws. That's dangerous, but all the talent in the world, great shooting team. I like Creighton in this game.
Tim, is UCSB UC Santa Barbara?
It is. And my bias against them comes from I watched the Big East Championship game last night and Georgetown blew them out. Now that's one game and whatever. But I'm going to take UC Santa Barbara. I like 5-12 upsets anyway, so I'm going to take UC Santa Barbara.
Well, Ben, how do you rate this one out then? UCSB 22-4 coming in as a 12 seed.
Gauchos. It's in the Big West. I'll be honest, I've seen only a couple games. of this team. I'm sure they're solid enough, but Creighton is a serious team. I will say, when you're talking about erratic and range of outcomes, Creighton's that type of team, but they're just so explosive offensively. They've got good guards. They do stupid things, no doubt. Georgetown mopped the floor with them. They've lost games they shouldn't, but I don't think this will be one of them.
Yeah, this is one of the bigger discrepancies in these rankings that I got produced for me. That's usually what I lean on here, so I'm going to go with Creighton to be moving on. Taking all chalk so far, the higher end seeds. Do you? Tim just said he has the 12-5 upset preference. Do you read into this stuff at all, Ben?
No, I mean, I do think that in general, of course, those teams are live to get it done, but no, I don't take a 12 just to take a 12. Absolutely not.